real fulfilling way. I'm ready for that. And I showed up and I was like, and I know what that means is that I got a lot of work to do. So let's get into that. And what I was surprised was she went right for the trauma. She went right to two things. My mother's death. My mom died after college. So this would have been 4 years after this accident or so. Yeah. And this accident. And I was like, what does that have to do with my love life? I'm just too picky and all these these character flaws that I thought was the problem. And so we start doing this thing called EMDR, and this is when stuff gets crazy. Have you heard of EMDR?
No.
Eye movement desensitization, response or something like that. It's so freaky. You get a buzzer in each hand, okay? And they buzz back and forth, and you close your eyes. And when you close your eyes, they involuntarily go back and forth. So it's like buzz, 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 buzz. And it distracts your conscious brain enough for you to get into the subconscious and to deal with trauma and with the memory and the experience and the beliefs and everything that was planted 20 years ago or whatever. So we start getting into this accident. And it was really fascinating when I started finding. So I'd kind of close my eyes, I'd get into it, I would recount the story just like I told you. And then there's two different, in this thing, you can see it in two different ways. In your own body, I'm in my body, and then dissociated, where you're looking down at your body. And I still to this day have the memory where I'm in the car and I'm in my own body. But then when I see myself outside of the thing, I'm dissociated. I'm looking down at my body and the scene as if I'm hovering.
Yeah.
So at some point between the accident and me waking up, I disconnected from that. There was that trauma, survival mechanism that happened. And so one of the things we try to go in is to reassociate into that moment. And it's really funny because it's blocked. And what that means to me is that there was something that happened to me psychologically there that was so scary that part of me is like, we're not even going to go there. And this is what I think it is. So I've got really curious about this. And I start asking my buddies who were at the scene, and I said, what happened with this thing? And they told me what they knew. And I remember Phil Thies, he said, well, I remember I came over to you, and the first thing you did was to ask me to pinch your feet to see if you were paralyzed. And I was like, I have no memory of that whatsoever. Like I blocked it. Like I blocked it out. Like that was part of it. So the conclusion that I came to is that there was this moment where part of me was terrified. I've heard the word annihilation, where it was like so scary, either that I was going to die, which was entirely possible. We were out in a field and I was literally hemorrhaging.
Yeah.
I cracked this huge bone over here and this blood is piling up.
Yeah.
Where I was either going to die or part of me was worried, like, I can't get up. Am I paralyzed? And just freak out, panic. That is the trauma. Totally out of control. And there's the threat of my life that I might die. Yeah. And so we're going into this stuff. And that's what EMDR gets into that thing. And we're and I can feel that there's something there and it's cracking into it. So we start doing this therapy on it. And remember, I came to this thing because I wanted to find a girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
That was the overarching thing. So that's what led me to get... Remember, I was recovered. Oh, I'm fine.
Right.
There's no... My bones healed and my urethra, all that stuff, all the plumbing works.
And you felt... And when you were looking at your life, you're like, oh, everything's great, except that I don't have a deep, meaningful relationship. That's the problem. And instead, it's kind of maybe a symptom of...
Yeah, I'm just okay, all right, I'm ready to make this a priority, not work. It's always been about me and this mission, and everything's been second, and now okay, now I'm getting older. I'm not going to live forever. This is important to me. I want to pursue that. So we do this this EMDR stuff, and I'm like, I don't know that it worked. Nothing really. I got into this thing, and I just was blocked and whatever. And a week or two later, I met somebody, and I fell in love like I had never fallen ever in my whole life. It was crazy. I think I probably told you about it. And I was like, I just thought, oh, it was timing and wow, she was great. And that relationship ended. And I would continue to see the therapist, and my therapist was convinced 100% that the reason that I was able to do that was because I had gone into